Hi guys, today I'm doing a quick review on a solar panel that I bought around about the 17th of September. It was sold on eBay and it was sold as a 120 watt dual USB flexible solar panel battery charger, and yeah, the price was really good, £19.15 for a 120 watt panel. Brilliant. So I bought that. Let's have a closer look at the specifications. Here is our picture of the panel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 batches of cells. I think these cells usually split into threes or so, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 looking big cells. It says 120 watt and it comes with a charge controller as well. Looking at this panel though, slight difference from the pictures. We've got lots of pictures here, tells us about how it's made. And then as we come down the auction here, it says the material it's made out of, it's got a 3000 milliamp hour USB port, which now actually reflecting on it doesn't really make sense. Can full charge an iX in 1.5 hours. Okay. It's got monocrystalline solar cells, 21%, fine, USB and DC. It does. It's IP65 waterproof, fine. It's got some eyelets, this and that. Then down here it's got the specifications in greater detail, and the specifications are, let's have a closer look. Monocrystalline, fine, EVA PET material, Pmax 120 watts. Doesn't say the voltage or the amperage, but you know, as we know, the wattage is volts times amps. So I'll measure the panel, see what voltage I'm getting, measure the amps, multiply the two, we'll end up with the power. Now we've got some dimensions. It says it's 44 centimeters by 19 centimeters by 3 millimeters, or 17 inches by 7.5 by 0.1 inch. It's got the weight of the package, including the controller. Doesn't give really any information about the controller at all, but I thought, fine, that's probably why it's cheap. We don't know what controller we're getting. Fine, package size, and then the package weight with and without the controller. Package list, one solar panel. It should also probably say one multiply charge controller, one 12 volt lead, but it doesn't have that listed. So that was the auction, and that's been sold by this seller here with a 98.9% positive feedback coming from Dunstable, apparently, just up the road from me. So let's actually have a look at the panel and do a bit of a performance test on it and see what we're getting. Well, this is what we got in the package. So we got our solar panel, fine. Our charge controller, which is actually labelled as a 10 amp charge controller. They could have given a bit more information on that. Then we've also got the 12 volt adapter here. You can use this on some vehicles to actually back feed through the lighter socket into the battery to actually charge a car battery. Only if your lighter socket stays live when you take the key out does that work. If not, we can connect straight to the battery using these crocodile clips, which I'm also going to use for testing the power output of this panel. It came with our suction cups for sticking in the window, great. And we also came with our user manual for the battery controller. But I'm more interested in this 120 watt solar panel. Now I have already tested this panel and it didn't perform anywhere near as expected. Just to try and improve things a little bit, I'm going to peel off the plastic. Can't do that one-handed, but I'll carefully peel that off in a minute. Check that the panels don't look damaged. And then I'm going to wait for some clear sky so I can actually get the sun shining directly down onto this at a perpendicular angle with a multimeter on there so we can do some power measurements. Okay, so we've got the sun just coming out from behind those clouds there. Give it a couple more minutes. Yep, they're pretty much past now. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon. It is the 1st of October, so it won't be as good as middle of summer. But we should be able to get close to the 150 or, you know, at least 100 watts, even 80 watts would be good. So let's see what we actually get. Right, we have the panel laid on the floor here. I'm just going to connect these croc clips up to our Fluke multimeter. We'll put that in amps, connect our neutral and connect our positive, and let's see what we're getting. So we're getting about 373 milliamps. Let's point that up towards the sun, see what the maximum we can get is. So pointing straight at the sun, looks to be about 830, 840 milliamps. Tilt it that way, tilt it that way. Did see 850. Yeah, 850. About 860 is the most I can get to. So 860 milliamps, we'll stick with that. Let's switch this over now into voltage, and we'll swing that about. Now, of course, this is no load. There's no load on it now. So no load voltage is about 14.6. Moving the panel about, trying to get that above. We'll call it 14.65. Yeah, let's call it 14.65, which is perfect for charging a battery actually. Even without a controller, it would just charge up to about 14.6 volts and float it like a car alternator would. So we've got those two values. Now we need to multiply them and figure out what the wattage is. So I think, going back to memory, I said 14.6 volts by about 860 milliamps. So if you multiply those together, that gives us a peak power output of 12.55 watts. So there you have it then. You have a solar panel being sold at 150 watts peak power, when in reality it's about 12.5 watts on a good day. Let's say we're in the middle of summer on the equator. What do you think that would get to? Probably 14 or 15 watts. It's about a 15 watt panel. Let's actually compare this one to a 100 watt panel. So yeah, that's the kind of size a 100 watt panel would be.